Welcome back, City fans. Evan Weston here, and after the international break, 10-10 returns for the stretch run. Orlando City trying to earn that top 4 spot in the playoffs. It starts this weekend against New England. Let's put 10 minutes on the clock and get you set for a big-time matchup. At number 1, we'll set the scene a little bit. Orlando City 2 weeks ago got in action against Nashville SC. They were coming off a loss in Kansas City where they had missed an opportunity to gain ground on their rivals in the East. Well, they didn't miss an opportunity this time. Orlando thrashing Nashville by a 3-0 scoreline, including another brace for Facundo Torres. More on him in a bit, but first, let's relive that exciting victory.
It's Orlando City from Interinco Stadium playing host to Nashville SC. The fans filing in to this one. Orlando City, they were red hot in MLS before Leagues Cup. Let's bring you the standings in the Eastern Conference, where everything stands ahead of kickoff of this one. Nashville still somehow find themselves in the playoff push because everybody does. Orlando currently sat 7th, trying to get into maybe a more safer position higher up the table. Miguel Gallardo.
This is the way. This is the energy. Like tonight. Like this warm-up we did now. Now we need to bring to the field. Let's go. 3 points together today, guys. 1, 2, 3.
Absolutely, Chris. A pleasure to be here with you. And like you say, for Orlando City to stay in the playoff picture, but potentially get into the first 4.
Facundo Torres always provides a threat down that right.
Absolutely. He is the talisman of this team. The Uruguayan on the right-hand side, coming inside, inverted, whether taking a shot or combining through the middle.
Not far away from kickoff. The 2 mascots are ready. The players are ready. Are you ready? As you're about ready for kickoff, it's Orlando City playing host to Nashville SC.
Oh, and here's Muyl in behind on Galesi, makes a huge save one-on-one. Alex Muyl, Orlando's players were certain was offside, but the flag stayed down and Galesi made a terrific save. Oh, it's a giveaway. It's falling to Angulo. Orlando takes the lead. And Orlando handed their first opportunity, punishes Nashville. Ivan Angulo scores his 4th goal of the year. It's one of the easiest goals he'll ever score.
To Alex Muyl, it's tricky feet there. Santos, and great skill from Ojeda, who's gone running beyond Anunga.
1-touch cross in towards the backside. Torres volley. What a goal! 2-0. Oh, sensational Facundo Torres. Number 40 in purple in style.
But it is a Uruguayan with a terrific finish to get his 9th one of the season in Major League Soccer.
Comes back into Maguire, just outside the box. Maguire fakes it on his left. Here comes Torres, free in the area. Torres makes it 3. Facundo Torres. A brace and a win for Orlando City. 3-0 to the good guys in the 85th minute.
Orlando City.
At number 2, with that victory, Orlando City now 5-1-1 in their last 7 MLS games. They have climbed 7 spots in the league table. Oscar Pareja afterwards pleased with the bounce back from his team.
Well, very happy for our teams, our fans, and this moment of not emergency but urgencies, and we have shared this with the players where we need to add points and try to ascend in the standings. But still, we try to do it the best way possible. We want to play well and keep growing as a team. And I saw a lot of positive areas today that made us feel that we had playing a very serious and very professional game against a rival that creates in the first 15 minutes a few chances and complicate our game. But the reaction was good. I thought we were precise in the way we finish in. We have had games where we have more volume on the actions in their backs, but today we were very clean on being precise, and I'd rather just have that. And at this point, we need that lethal instinct from the players, and it was a good game in that part.
We can't go any further than number 3 without mentioning Facundo Torres. He is on the roll of his life. The summer of Facu Part 3, maybe even hotter than the first 2. Since being snubbed from the Copa America team back in June, Torres has scored 9 goals and provided 8 assists in the last 14 matches in all competitions. Orlando City has won 7 of those 14 and drawn another 4, only losing 3 times. Torres is now just 3 goals behind Kyle Larin for the most ever scored by an Orlando City player, a record that has stood for the last 7 years. Torres is well on pace to break that record by the end of the season. At number 4, you'd have to think Facundo Torres did enough over the last 3 months to get back into the Uruguay team, and he sure did. Marcelo Bielsa even handing him an appearance during Luis Suarez's final match ever internationally against Paraguay last week. Baku and Uruguay currently playing World Cup qualifiers for the 2026 World Cup in the United States. Peru is as well. Pedro Gallese and Wilder Cartagena both taking up starting spots for the Peruvians during the break. And David Brekalo was back with Slovenia. Remember, he didn't play much during the Euros. He started at right back for the Slovenians against Austria as they opened up their UEFA Nations League campaign last week. Back here at home, Orlando City's loving it at Inter & Co Stadium lately. After a slow start to the year at home, the Lions have completely turned things around in the City Beautiful. They have won 5 of their last 6 against MLS opposition, unbeaten in 8 straight at home. Their last loss coming all the way back on June 15th against LAFC. And that's a good thing because the next 2 matches are both against Eastern Conference rivals at Inter & Co Stadium. Quickly before we get to New England, though, let's talk about the standings at number 6. Orlando City had a perfect weekend back on August 31st. They won. The 3 teams in front of them for that final home slot in the East all lost, as did Toronto below them. And the New York Red Bulls gave Orlando another gift, dropping 2 points at home to Sporting Kansas City this past weekend during the international break. So Orlando is 6 points back of 4th place with the game in hand, and they are right on the heels of New York City and Charlotte. Could be as high as 5th by the end of the weekend. Orlando's next chance to climb this weekend. At number 7, they take on the New England Revolution Saturday night, 7:30 p.m. at Inter & Co Stadium. The Revs played during the international break, as they often do, and should have had 3 points. They were taking on St. Louis City at home. Went down early, but quickly came back. Luca Langoni scoring, more on him later, and Carlos Gil also finding the back of the net. In the second half, though, up 2-1. They lose the lead. Simon Betcher scores for St. Louis. The game ends 2-2. A big chance for New England, who are trying to move into the play-in spots after a really poor start to the year. They drop those 2 points, and now they come into Orlando really needing to win in a situation where the Lions have them right where they want them. One of the reasons the Revs find themselves in this spot, 5 points back of the red line, though, with a couple of games in hand, was dropping home points to Orlando back in July. At number 8, Orlando went up to Gillette Stadium, which had been just a nightmare for them to visit over the years. They had never won there, the only Eastern Conference venue they didn't have a win at until this past July. And it was another one where New England blew a lead. They got ahead in the first half, Giacomo Vioni scoring the goal. But then Facu Torres went nuts. He scored right away in the second half. Ramiro Enrique pots the winner just 7 minutes later, and then Torres, with one of his trademark braces, finishes it off. A 3-1 Orlando City win. That was part of that 4-game winning streak back in the month of July that got the Lions right back in the playoff picture. Now they'll try to do something they've never done against the Revs, sweep them in a season series. At number 9, this is a different New England team than the one we saw back in July, though. They're a little more refreshed, and they've got their superstar player back. Carlos Gil missed that game in July. He ended up missing 2 months, actually. Came back after the Leagues Cup break a few weeks ago, and he's been stellar for New England in the last 3 matches, a goal and 2 assists, scoring against St. Louis, had 2 assists in his return game. He has terrorized Orlando over the years, including Open Cup and playoffs. Gil has 6 goals and 8 assists in just 10 games against Orlando City. It will be crucial for Wilder Cartagena and Cesar Araujo to keep an eye on Gil in this matchup. Finally, at number 10, New England has also added to their squad. Luca Langoni, saw him score against St. Louis, has joined this team on a U22 initiative deal, but the transfer fee was a club record, more than they paid for Gil or for Gustavo Bo. He's a winger from Argentina. His nickname, as his last name is Langoni, is La Langosta, which is the lobster, and he is taken to MLS like a shellfish to water. 2 goals and an assist in his first 3 matches, just 118 minutes, adding a new dimension to New England's attack. Orlando City will have to be on the lookout for some lobster claws in this one as well. Now you're all set. Orlando City taking on the New England Revolution. Big time game this Saturday night at Inter & Co Stadium, kicking off at 7:30 p.m. It'll air on MLS Season Pass on Apple TV. We'll get our coverage started on Kickoff Minus 60, airing on OrlandoCitySC.com and the Lion Nation app an hour before the game at 6:30. English radio coverage on Real Radio 104.1 begins at 7 o'clock. We'll talk to you then. Enjoy the game, everybody.